Hi, I'm John Fuller. I'm the Executive Director of Virginia United Methodist Pensions, which is the Virginia Conference agency that administers our clergy pensions and medical benefit plans. As you may be aware, churches that elect to disaffiliate under paragraph 2553 of the Book of Discipline are required to pay their share of the conference's unfunded pension and retiree medical liabilities. To make sure that there is clarity around these liabilities, we wanted to share some details about what those liabilities are and what they represent. The first thing that I would like to note is that both the unfunded pension liability and the retiree medical liability represent the cost of benefits that have already been earned by our clergy. These liabilities are not associated with benefits that will be earned in the future. The unfunded pension liability is calculated by Westpath, which is our denomination's general agency that administers our clergy pension plans. Stated plainly, a pension liability calculation is the difference between our projected pension assets and our projected pension liability. If the liability is larger than the projected value of our assets, there is an unfunded liability. These projections are based on several assumptions. One important assumption involves the projected growth rate in our invested pension assets. Our pension funds are invested in things like stocks and bonds, and we make an assumption about the average return we will get from these investments. Another important assumption involves the longevity of our clergy who will receive pension benefits in retirement. Our pension benefit programs include defined benefit features which are designed to make payments to our retired clergy for as long as they live, and in many cases for as long as their surviving spouses live. While both of those assumptions are reasonable and data-driven, it is certainly possible that actual results could differ from the assumptions. Average returns on investments could be significantly lower than expected, and average lifespans may end up being much longer than expected. In either of those cases, the Virginia Conference would need to come up with additional funds in order to make the pension benefit payments that have been promised to our clergy. The possibility that actual results may be different from projections is a financial risk to the Virginia Conference. A church that disaffiliates from the Virginia Conference will permanently separate itself from that risk, transferring its share of the risk back to the Virginia Conference. The unfunded pension liability, as calculated by Westpath, is designed to quantify the financial value of that risk so that the Virginia Conference will be adequately equipped to manage the entirety of the ongoing pension liability risk. Under the conference's retiree medical program, Virginia Conference clergy have the opportunity to earn a lifetime health insurance benefit. The liability associated with that program is calculated annually by an external actuarial consulting firm, and that represents the projected cost of the benefits that have already been earned by our clergy. The Virginia Conference's pension and retiree medical liabilities are simply the financial costs associated with promises that have been made to our conference's clergy. In order to ensure that we can keep these promises, it is critical that we are able to fund these long-term liabilities. The disaffiliation provisions that address the pension and retiree medical liabilities are the mechanisms by which disaffiliating churches will pay their share of these liabilities. If you have general questions about the conference's pension or retiree medical liabilities, please feel free to call or send me an email. If you have specific questions about the disaffiliation process or about your church's share of these liabilities, please direct those questions to your district superintendent.